Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to carry. It's Friday. It is Gasparilla Bowl Day. It is National Championship playoff games kick off tonight after our game, and a great slate of games tomorrow. We'll have JC recap everything for us, give us his knowledge and his picks, and we'll also have Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel momentarily. JC, you're on the Titan number hotline. You look like Mr. Two Bits today.
Jimmy, your Christmas balls in the hotel room there are as big as you are. I mean, those are the biggest damn Christmas balls. They look like planets circling around your head. Look at the size.
Well, they're not in the hotel room. They are back.
Where are you?
I just noticed the backdrop.
That's okay. I'm okay with it. It's the spirit of the holiday.
Yes, it is. It has some kind of name on it. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Trying to get into the Christmas spirit, JC.
That's right. Yeah, in Tampa, you guys are going to be busy today at 3:00, and we'll touch on that in a minute. Last night we had the Denver Broncos terrible loss to the Chargers. Best bet on the prop board last night at Hard Rock was Gus Edwards anytime touchdown at 2-1, and he scored twice. But anyhow, the Chargers stay alive barely by the skin of their teeth, and they beat the Broncos at home. There was also some minor little college bowl game. I think Sam Houston State beat Georgia Southern. Only bettors and family members care about that. And today we've got the beginning of the college football championship after the Florida Gator game. So you've got a real doubleheader for yourself today after you get done with your shopping in the early part of the day. And you can join the QB and Sean Kelly on the radio and turn off the TV, down the volume, and watch the Gators beat Tulane. You know, QB, the funny thing, this line has gone from 14 points down to 10. Now, You're down there in the middle of it all. You got to give me a reason for that. I don't understand it. Tell me what it is.
I'm not in the middle of it.
You're in Tampa. You're at the game.
I was not in Tampa yesterday or the day before. I was busy doing work-related issues. I don't know why I have no idea.
Big move. QB, that's a massive move. 4 points.
It really is. I don't know the answer to that. I was going to ask you. You follow that stuff.
I'm following it, and I'm watching that line tank. Which I if you want to take the Gators, that's a great deal for you. But there's got to be something behind it. So I don't know what's happening. Was hoping for some insight. Got nothing but work-related comments.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll just go with the 10 and hope the Gators can win and cover.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And we got a lot of people who are chiming in on my bowl gear. I have the warm-up jacket on, it is by far, I'm not a big Jordan brand guy because I think it's silly to be on a football uniform.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get overwhelmed with the royal blue and the orange. This is my favorite thing that I have gotten. Complimentary of the Mighty Gators because it's not like orange and blue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost Carolina blue. It's kind of grayish, but there's somebody on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law that is chiming in about the bowl gear. Who would you think that is, JC?
About the bowl gear?
Yeah.
On Facebook Live.
One of your buddies.
Really? Is it Stingray?
No.
Who might it be?
He owns a dump truck.
Oh, Gene. Gene.
Yeah, Gene wants to know if I got a watch and a bowl, a ring. No, I did not. I got a bunch of shoes and shirts and hoodies and all that stuff.
I wonder if Gene cares more about the goodies and freebies you get than the actual game itself, because Gene is all about that kind of thing.
Right.
Especially
Gene ain't going to the game unless somebody gives him a free ticket.
And maybe a free ride. Yeah. Hey, listen, Gene, it's okay, brother. We do love you. Don't fear. But QB, that is a very nice outfit you got on. It kind of reminds me of my favorite sweatshirt from St. Augustine. It says St. Augustine, Florida on it. It's just very comfortable looking. It's got the zipper. It's got the hoodie. You really can't
I
go
just
wrong
like
with
it
that.
because it's not orange and blue.
Well, yeah, I mean that is the color though. I got an old
No, I
Florida.
know that, but I mean, sometimes you just, so Tony says you'll be able to find these on eBay in February.
Okay.
Probably so. A lot of kids will be selling their stuff. All right, so a lot of news that obviously the Dallas Wilson, I believe that's his name, wide receiver from Tampa,
Yeah.
he got out of his letter of intent with Oregon, will be probably signing with the
Wow.
Gators apparently.
Nice.
Gators picked up a wide receiver, a 6'3" wide receiver on his third school. He played at UCLA last year. So
Yeah.
congratulations to that.
Well, this is all positive news flow, good vibes. I can't get over this line move though. There is something underneath that, and I don't know what it is. And I know a lot of people don't think of it like that, like I do now. But that's huge. That is absolutely huge. A lot of money on Tulane. Either a lot of money's on Tulane or something's happened and they just adjusted. I don't know. But it's hard to imagine a lot of money being on this bowl game. But it is a bowl game before the main event tonight. And that main event will be in South Bend. 20-degree weather, snow flurries, 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's got underwritten all over it. 51.5 is the number. You've got an Indiana offense that's pretty rated pretty highly. Notre Dame, by the way, QB, averages 43 points per game. That's second in the nation. I bet you didn't know that. So offensively, Notre Dame can light up the scoreboard.
It's more, but it's all through the ground. They don't throw it very well.
And they're 9-0-1 against the spread this year against FBS teams. They're 9-0-1 against the spread against FBS teams. Their only loss, of course, coming to an FCS team. And
not true.
No. Their only loss coming to a MAC team, a group of five. Excuse me, I get that mixed up. It's a group of five team. That's Northern Illinois. But having said that, my God, 9-0-1, you're laying 7. The total's 51.5, and I think under is the play here, and I hate unders. I'm looking at a 24-20 kind of game tonight. Notre Dame wins, but Indiana covers.
Oh, I don't think Indiana's going to be in this game at all.
Oh, you see a blowout?
I do.
Why is that?
I do. Because they've played nobody.
Well, who was Notre Dame beating again?
They haven't, but they've been blowing out everybody they play, right?
They've been blowing out. Well, I mean, they got a pick 6 to beat.
I think
14,
I think from a physicality standpoint, the line of scrimmage is going to be a huge difference in this game, and I think Notre Dame's going to overpower them. I really do.
All right. Well, Indiana, defensively has been pretty good, but you're right. Their schedule has been very soft.
Neither one of their schedules are great, but Notre Dame has the better athletes who are bigger, stronger, and they're more physical. They're playing at home. I just think the great story of Indiana comes to an end tonight.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Indiana and SMU QB, meaning that if these teams go and lay eggs and get blown out, this is going to look bad on the selection committee. It's just going to look bad because then you're going to be talking about emotional feelings instead of putting the best 12 out there and rankings. And listen, if Indiana gets blown out and SMU gets blown out tomorrow morning, I think that's going to be a stain on the CFP. Of course, I'm going to say that as an Alabama guy. But that's a stain. That's not good. You don't want to see these blowouts. This is a 12-team playoff, my man. You got to have competitive football.
JC,
I don't want to hear one thing about Indiana or SMU if they get blown out.
JC, just remember, don't lose to a bad Oklahoma team. And don't lose to a bad Vanderbilt team, and you wouldn't have this problem.
Well, both teams are in bowl games, so they're as bad as you want.
They're bad.
Well,
Daryl says on the Titan of our text line, good morning, guys. Let's win today, but I don't like the color combo of the uniforms today. We look like Syracuse. Oh, I didn't know we must be wearing the blue jersey and the orange pants then. I don't like that one either.
Or are they wearing the orange with the white pant or something? They're not doing that, right? They're not going to look like the 84 Gators out there. So you're saying they're going to wear blue and orange pants?
Well, Daryl just said they're wearing the orange pants with the blue jersey.
Well, there you have it. Okay. Well, that's probably why the line's gone from 14 to 10. Everybody hates
because of the uniform.
Yeah, so bet on Tulane. Yeah. Well, Tulane's got nobody playing quarterback. I can't imagine why this game's going to be close, QB. You're going to have to convince me why it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be close.
Well, I don't understand. I didn't think it was going to be close, but I don't know why it went from 14 to 10.
Right. That
makes no sense. That's a lot.
It's a massive move.
Yeah. Chris from Iacca says he saw a video clip yesterday of a private equity firm manager talking about how they are starting the process of bidding on some high-profile college football programs, saying that the schools are willing to sell a minority stake in the football programs. College football is about to officially become professional football.
It's
I've not seen that. Here's what I will say that's freaking nuts.
Okay.
We can all agree or disagree about the NIL is nonsense. It is way out of control. Would you agree with that or disagree with that statement,
No,
Jason?
I think it's definitely out of control, but I think
Okay.
it's necessary.
It's not necessary, but okay, think of this.
It is. Players have to be paid.
Are you, yes or no, are you a Jacksonville Jaguars season ticket holder?
I am.
Okay. You pay for your tickets, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't give them to
What would they do if they asked you to pay for their quarterback and their left tackle and their starting center and their wide receivers? Would you be excited about that?
Not at all.
Okay. That's what college football is. They're asking you to buy season tickets.
Yeah.
Then they're asking you to pay for the players that come play for you
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how dumb it is.
Yeah. And in
Okay.
spite of all that, you've never had more people watch it than you have this.
No, I'm not going to argue that. People are going to watch sports no matter what. People talk about how bad the NBA is and their
They're
ratings,
not watching
get all
it.
that, but
They're
people
not watching
still watch it.
Their ratings have tanked, QB.
I know that, but people are still going to watch it. But my point is the NIL is so dumb in my opinion. And I said it when it came out here because, and I remember people sending questions and comments and stuff saying, I'm jealous because I didn't get paid. That's beside the point. We're talking 40 years ago when I played, right?
Yeah.
The bottom line is it is not for name, image, and likeness.
Right.
It is not about the 20% that the players make off the jerseys that you go buy at the Rights Union. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be when you go sign autographs at the Oaks Mall
Right.
or down at Joe's Car Lot.
It's become a free for all. QB.
And that's my point. They have to get it under control or it's going to be a disaster. Did you see the comment that Nick Saban stated yesterday?
What was
I
that?
screenshot this.
Go
I
ahead.
better have.
Go ahead.
Here's what Nick Saban said.
Mhm.
I think everybody thinks he's a pretty smart guy, right?
Yeah.
He goes, where does it end? And the people who are supporting this, they really get no benefit for it.
Yeah, I don't understand the investment side of it. I really don't. Never have. I couldn't figure out what your return is if you're going to give some high school kid multiple millions of dollars. What do you get for that? Why do you do that? What happens when it's transacted? Why do you do that? I mean, is he your child? I mean, so it doesn't really seem logical. But I do think players have to be compensated in some way. And
No, that's true.
I know that's not the point you're
but
making. I get it.
The NIL and what's happening are two different things.
Yeah, no, I see that.
It is pay for play.
NIL means now it's legal. And that's what NIL means. It's not, forget about the name, image, likeness. That can be part of it, a small percentage of it, but NIL stands for now it's legal. And until they get in charge of their game, QB, this is what we're going to continue to see. It's the genie's out of the bottle, my man. What are you going to take money away from people?
I agree 1,000% with Nick Saban's quote.
Yeah. What? Where does it end?
No. The people who are supporting this,
do
they really get a benefit for it?
Well, go call a booster and ask him.
No, I mean, I don't care. I'm just agreeing with what he stated because I firmly believe that.
Well, I don't know what the benefit could be. What could it be? What is it? You kick back somehow? Is it an investment? What is it? And if it's supporting a program, there are so many ways you can do that other than just throwing ridiculous amounts of money on one player.
And that player can leave the very next year. That's why it's so damn stupid.
It's absurd. So there are some absurdities about our game, but our game is still as popular as it's ever been.
Look, football is I don't give a damn what they talk about baseball, the national pastime and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Football will always be, regardless of what happens with NIL, regardless of what happens.
Right. It's number
college
one.
football and NFL are the
Number
kings and nothing will change.
Correct.
Ever.
100%. Yeah, no, that's right. And I don't know why they spend a lot of time up in the population bases of this country in the Northeast and everywhere else where the big cities are talking about NFL. And I see that. But everywhere in America, there is a college graduate thinking about his school, and the alumni follows everything. And college football should be getting more numbers than they're getting, but they're getting huge numbers as it is. I think you're going to see this game tonight do 10 million viewers. I think you're going to see probably SMU, Penn State do about 6 or 7 million. You're going to see Clemson and Texas do close to 10. You're probably going to see Tennessee and Ohio State do close to 14 million viewers. That's what Alabama and Georgia got in September. I can't think of one thing on television, including the election in November, that got those kinds of viewers. So Hey, money's flowing, and we saw the top 10 of the top-rated athletic programs in America. This is from CNBC.
Mm-hmm.
There were 10 teams dominated by the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten, with one private school being Notre Dame. In the top 10, we're talking about
we weren't one of those top 10.
No, Florida wasn't, but we're talking about value based on so many different metrics.
Yeah.
Ohio State was one. In the SEC, Alabama was the highest.
Alabama
Texas,
Alabama and Tennessee in there?
Texas, yes, but Texas A&M were 2 and 3. Alabama was 5, and I think Tennessee was something like 8. But the point is that the money is everywhere, and these people have lost control of the money, and that's why I think we got to see more investment into things like football facilities and structure and trainers and things like that. Stadium.
So Chris from Cottondale on the Titan MR text line says, Shane, you're 100% correct about what NIL was supposed to be and what it was intended for. It's stupid because we were asking, I'm not going to put the guy's name, but we were asking certain individuals to carry a program, be miserable, throwing all of their money at kids instead of facilities and other things. As much as I hate to agree with Saban, I have to.
Well, I don't know why he hates to agree with him. The point is that the money is out of control. There's no guidelines. We have no guidelines. There's no guidelines.
Speaking of money, what usually happens, do you see what Brock Purdy did for his 10 linemen?
No, I didn't. What did he do?
Brock Purdy bought 10. He bought 5 Sequoias, which is a SUV, Toyota SUV, and 5 Tundras.
Well, really?
They were all white with like this red leather 49er stuff on the side. And he just took them outside and says, those are y'all's. Choose what you want.
He's the least paid quarterback in the NFL.
I know. He obviously, because you think about that, those cars are at least $80,000 a pop.
Yeah, that's right. So 10 of them equals what?
That's more than what he makes probably in a year. So he got a deal. So he got a deal.
Just real quick, not that we're going to spend time on Brock, but do you think he's going to get a max deal with the 49ers after this contract? Because it ends this year. And they've had
something. I don't know what he's going to get, but he'll get something. I don't know.
So do the Niners keep him is my question.
Yes.
Oh.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by. We got JC here. We'll have Edgar Thompson. JC, let's get to our Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte surrounding areas. Now it's time for the Peachland Dental picks.
Let's do the Peachland Dental picks. The Ohio Bobcats invade. This is a bowl game. They're playing Jack State without Rich Rod. The spread is 5.5 given to Jack State. I think they lost some players in the portal with Rich Rod. I think the Bobcats roll. They're your MAC champions. I like the Bobcats laying 5.5.
In this game in Orlando, the Cure Bowl, whatever that is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I will take the Gamecocks.
Why would you do that?
They got athletes, dude.
Okay. Well, I think Ohio's pretty good. All right, that's fine. Let's go to the game tonight, the big one. We'll do the Florida Tulane game at the end here. But Indiana and Notre Dame, 7 points, totals 51.5. I love the under in that game. 30-mile-an-hour wind, snow, weather. I don't see a lot. I see a conservative game coming out of the gate for Indiana and Notre Dame. Give me the 7 with Indiana. I know you got Notre Dame.
I'll take the Fighting Irish.
And I understand that. I'm thinking it's a 24-20 game. You got a 31-10 game. All right. Tomorrow is Christmas. Okay, Christmas on December 21st.
Okay, can I? I'm going to
start.
Give my beef right here.
Let's hear your beef.
I know people in Kansas City and wherever, Houston, they have no ties to the college football playoffs right now, and I guess it's Baltimore and the Steelers. But why in the hell are they putting games on? Why you got the 4 playoff games? Makes no sense to me.
Well, it's NBC. It's Fox.
Yeah, but they should just understand, look, because they don't normally put these Saturday games on until the season's over. Now, if you wanted to do it next week when it's just bowl games, that's fine. But we're talking, that's my
It bothers you. Yeah, it's a beef you have. Just remember Kansas City, and it's the more ridiculous thing than that is the fact that Kansas City is being asked to play 3 games in 10 days. That is absurd.
Yeah.
That is an absurdity. It's not fair to the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I know we don't feel sorry for the Chiefs around, but 3 games in 10 days is stupid. And that's what they're asking the Chiefs to do. And this thing with Mahomes and the high ankle sprain, he's faking it. Because if he plays, he ain't got a high ankle sprain. All right. Then he doesn't have a high ankle sprain. December 21st, Christmas Day. Saturday, football, championships, NFL football. You got 5 games you can watch. If you don't have 3 TVs in your living room, you are missing out. So let's get moving on that motion. Southern Methodist University and all their billionaire donors, God bless them. 9 years they're going in the ACC. They don't take any money from television revenue. They pay for it themselves. They bought themselves into the conference. Here they are going into Happy Valley to play Penn State. Penn State can't beat anybody worth a damn. Penn State's laying 8.5. Give me the ponies. I think Penn State is so overrated. Drew Aller, no wonder he's coming back. No wonder he can't go to the draft. No wonder they told him to stay another year. He sucks. Give me SMU. SMU. Go ahead, QB. Take Penn State.
I like SMU too. I think they're fast. I think they're going to cause a lot of problems for Penn State.
Your beloved Clemson Tigers are in Austin, and they don't have Phil Maffa. The only chance they had in this game is if they had Phil Maffa. Without Phil Maffa, they have 0 chance to score on Texas. Klubnik can't do it himself.
He's had a tremendous year.
Right. They played nobody. You talk about somebody.
Who's Texas played other than Georgia?
Nobody. But they've lost twice to the same team, and they did not lose at home to another team other than Georgia. Clemson lost twice at home. South Carolina, Louisville, Clemson stinks. Clemson got backed into this deal because SMU couldn't beat them because some idiot kicked a 56-yard field goal. I think Texas wins this game by 20. Give me the horns. Horns up.
I'll take JC. Just so people know, JC can't stand Clemson because they kicked Alabama's ass about 2 or 3 times for national titles. Clemson's a lot better than people think. Alabama had a tremendous year. I think this is going to be a dogfight, and I think Texas wins, but they cover.
No, Clemson did not kick their ass. They kicked their ass once. They are 2-2 with Alabama, and that play that Deshaun Watson ran to Renfro was an illegal pick. All right, so Texas, you got Clemson, right? Is that what I wrote down? Getting 12, you're losing that one. And then we're going to Columbus. Very cold game. Tennessee fans have bought 15 to 20,000 tickets. That can't be true. I can't believe it till I see it. But they are buying up these tickets. These Ohio State people are the most miserable fans on earth other than Florida State fans. My God, if Ohio State loses, Ryan Day, they're going to let him go? There's no way they let him go. But are they going to let him go? Tennessee is catching 7.5, and that's enough for me to take the balls. Go ahead.
I like Tennessee, too. I think Tennessee wins the game as long as Nico doesn't do anything.
You don't even think they're that good, QB. How many times do I have to hear you say Tennessee stinks?
Because I think they're better than Ohio State because I don't think Ohio State is very good.
Will Howard.
I think Ohio State's problem, one of their problems is they've been very pedestrian on offense.
Will Howard.
Do you know who their offensive coordinator is?
No, don't care. But I can tell you, Will Howard is not a winner. Oh, well, that guy, so for some reason, Strickland wanted him over here.
That's my point. The moral to the story is, everybody wants offensive coordinators.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yes.
Ohio State is nowhere near what they've been offensively the last few years.
The C.J. Stroud teams are gone. Those were days of the past. But you can't fire Ryan Day. That would blow my mind. We've got the 2 NFL games. So you're taking the Vols. Get to 7.5. We've got the 2 NFL games real quick. Houston and Kansas City. It's 3.5. The Chiefs. I want to take the Houston Texans. I think Kansas City is banged up, and they're thinking about 3 games in 10 days, which is absurd.
Who's the favorite?
KC, 3.5.
At home?
Mm-hmm.
At Arrowhead?
Yeah, they play at Arrowhead, QB. That's where they play.
I thought it was at Houston.
No,
they find ways to win, man. You can't.
Okay, so they win by a field goal, and I win the bet. You take Kansas City.
They could win by 14 too,
though. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. This is a great game. I mean, I don't know why Baltimore is always favored to beat Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh beats them every time. This game's in Baltimore. It's a 6.5-point spread. The Steelers, a little offensive issues, I think, were exposed at Philadelphia last week. This is a tough ask to come back and play the Ravens. I think the Ravens catch them this time. I'm rooting for the Steelers, but I think Baltimore wins by a touchdown. I want to take Baltimore.
I like the Ravens, too. I'm not a big – I just don't bind the Steelers.
They're challenge.
They somehow keep winning games, but
Russell, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to do Sunday games? You want to do some Sunday games? Yeah,
let's do a few. Real quick before we get to that, Andy's question or comment on Facebook Live brought to you by Melissa. Shane, did you see that Russ Callaway's considering the 4 wide formation? Could see it. My man, Kevin Brockway, asked the question at the press conference this week,
There you go.
and they said that you could see it, but they want to put their best 11 players on the field. That was the comment. Because Kevin sent me the exact quote. Well, that's just coach speak, because you're not going to sit here and tell me that one of those tight ends is better than one of our wide receivers. So
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
So, to answer your question, Andy, we ain't going to see it.
Okay. Well, hey, thumbs up to Kevin for sticking it out.
Yes, he finally asked the question.
Somebody asked a question that was worthy of an answer. Marissa says, why do you need 3 TVs if you have YouTube, JC? I don't. I'm a Cox cable overpayer. That's what I am. I just want to get my remote, speak in it, and be done with it, rewind, do whatever. I know I'm blowing money every month.
So real quick, 31 Ember says Shane has severe SEC bias. That's not true.
Severe.
I do love our conference, but I just said that
I do.
I thought Texas is going to struggle with Clemson.
They won't.
I know that, but I'm saying what he's not saying here, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you're not sticking up for the Homer SEC team.
No, I'm not saying Tennessee's going to win big. I'm not saying that Texas is going to blow them out. I think Texas is going to struggle, and I think Tennessee is a better football team than Ohio State.
All right, fair enough. That's why you're on here. All right, we've got the resurgent and soon-to-be NFC South Division winning Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Dallas laying 4. Give me Tampa Bay.
Who's Tampa playing?
Dallas.
And they're an underdog?
Dallas is an underdog.
Dallas is the underdog.
Yeah.
Dallas is a bad football team. I'll take the Bucs.
Yeah, Baker is $30 million a year. It's the best money they've spent in Tampa in a long time. Minnesota at Seattle. This is an important game for the Seahawks to try to keep up with the Rams. The Vikings are trying to take over the North Division from Detroit, who's banged up. Minnesota at Seattle +3. I'm taking the Vikings. Oh, come on, Sam Darnold's hot. I'm going with the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. I mean, they're still playing for that #1 seed. So.
They are, I guess, and overtake the Lions. Then my glorious Rams, who are about to win the NFC West and have beaten the Niners 3 straight times, are at the Jets. I watched the Jets last week, and they actually looked like they cared. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams do what they do. This could be a trap game for the Rams. It could be trouble, but we're talking about the Jets. And I also saw the Jets trailing Jacksonville for most of that game. I'm going to take my beloved Rams laying 3.
Oh, I thought for a minute I was thinking we were talking about the Packers.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, the Jets are bad. I just
they looked good last week. Yeah,
Stafford is slinging that thing, boy.
Well, the weather's good. Could be an issue for the California boys, but at any rate, they're laying 3, and I think they beat the Jets if they're a serious playoff team. And then finally down the road on the train from there, you get to Washington, and you play the Eagles at home with your potential rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels, getting 3.5 against the Eagles. This is a tough little number here because the Eagles are hot, but they've won something like 11 in a row game. Are they going to lose it all before the playoffs? I don't know. This could be the spot, though, because the Eagles have a very easy schedule after they play the Giants.
I like the Eagles. The Redskins have been struggling.
Okay, I can't disagree with that, but I will, just to be different than you, and take the 3.5 points. And then finally, the Gators -10. You know, this game was a game that it looked blowout city.
Well, you told everybody on this show to take everything in their account and put it on the Gators when they were -14.
Now
I'm still saying that, JC?
I'm going to say take half of it back if it's possible. But ladies,
why?
Well, it won't matter. Florida's going to win unless there's something we don't know. So I'm going with that disclaimer and saying Florida wins this game 38-17, and the Gators cover that 10 in their sleep. The Gators cover that 10. They win 8 games. Everybody gets excited for this spring. Recruiting's going well. They're stealing players from Oregon. It's all good. And
well, let me just look.
Look,
the people are still not real happy at the portal. We've gotten one guy out of the portal, the wide receiver.
I know. I was kind of being facetious there.
Okay.
But but no, I mean, yeah, Florida, 10 points should be enough. This Tulane team is bad. They've lost 2 straight. They don't look good to me. I was shocked, to tell you the truth, QB, that they got this bowl bit. Actually, I was shocked that Florida was going to this game. I thought Florida would be going to a different game. But
no, this is our record is equivalent to the Gasparilla Bowl.
I just learned that. So there you have it. 7-5, but soon to be 8-5, and with a lot of momentum going into the offseason and going into the second recruiting period and going into the second signing period and going into the spring. So let's do that. Then we'll focus on basketball, watch this team win a lot of games, and have a hell of a good winter time.
That's right.
The SMU Penn State winner goes to the Fiesta Bowl to face Boise. The Indiana Notre Dame winner goes to the Sugar Bowl to face Georgia. The Ohio Tennessee winner goes to the Rose to face Oregon. And Clemson and Texas, the winner there will go to Atlanta in the Peach Bowl to face my Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah. All right, before we get out of here, Trey said, did y'all see where the NCAA is saying JUCO years may not count against you? They don't. So Diego Pablo coming back.
The precedent has been set. So now Vandy's going to go beat Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
There you go. All right, JC, we'll see you on Monday. Have a good weekend watching all your games. We got to get to Edgar Thompson. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Crime Prevention Security System, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, Dave & Buster's, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Bishop's Pitmaster Barbecue, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Cogent Bank, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Signs, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Okido America, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Unleash the Inferno.
With time running out, the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier, shares a play to score the perfect last-minute Christmas gift.
Spurrier's Gridiron gift cards are on sale for 20% off between December 17 and December 24. You can go to spurriers.com and order a digital card or stop by my restaurant in Celebration Point and pick some up today. Use the code GC20 and get 20% off. That's right, 20% off gift cards with code GC20.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Florida Crackers, the brand for original Floridians. Great food, southern hospitality in the center of the universe. Brooksville, Florida, floridacracker.com. If you're heading down, stop by Florida Cracker, grab some food, some hats. They got good gear there. Or stop by on your way back after the game today. Let's go to the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. It's Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. Good morning, Edgar. How you doing, bud?
Doing okay. Already stepped in it this morning.
What happened?
So I'm up at like 6:30. I hop on Twitter. I hate how Twitter is now, man. My tweet deck, I've been paying for Twitter for months. Remember I got knocked off Twitter?
Right.
So they throw stuff at the top of my timeline. I see Hayes Fawcett reporting this UCLA kid. I don't know why I thought this guy was a quarterback. So I retweet like, ooh, a backup for DJ Lagway. Next thing I'm like, flip back on Twitter 10 minutes later, like, dude, this isn't a quarterback. What are you doing?
That's funny. Well, I thought the UCLA quarterback visited though, right?
I mean, who knows, dude? I don't even know who these guys are, but I looked at this guy. He had a big year at Cal. His name's J. Michael Sturdivant, something like that.
Yeah.
He's got some length.
6'3".
Yeah, he's there. The picture I wrote something crediting Hayes Fawcett. That guy, does he ever sleep, that kid? He's a young guy. He has turned that into a cottage industry, man, reporting these transactions. It's like they were talking about on some podcast I listened to that it's the new Woj bomb. is these transfer portal transactions, right? Anyway, this kid gets them all, but he does a nice graphic. I mean, credit to him, man. He figured it out. I'm sure he's, in high demand now. So anyhow, kid cuts, what was it? 65 balls, 775, 7 scores at Cal in 2022 is like a redshirt freshman. So the picture we ran of him, he was making a leaping catch is my point. So, DJ I feel like he needs a guy who can go win the football.
Well,
There's some throws he makes that are like, people are like, Well, if he had a receiver went high point in the ball and winning the football, some of these would be completions that are maybe just a teeny bit off.
and to your point, some of the balls that aren't on target were caught because of the experience and the body positioning of DK and Badger. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't sign another guy that's caught a bunch of balls, because I think they need them personally.
I do too. I mean, this was a good get, even though he wasn't a quarterback. So yeah, but the beauty of Twitter now, I mean, I was ripping Elon to someone the other day, like, this guy's going to fix the government. He's ruined Twitter, so let's hope he does better with the government. And I think the guy's brilliant, obviously. I mean, it's indisputable. But yeah, but you can edit your tweets. So I was able to edit that one.
Okay, well, good. Barone71 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, says, QB, what would your adjustments for passing plays out of the pistol? Nothing. All that is a different alignment for your tailback, but it doesn't change any of the route combinations. Just a different look for the defense.
Who was your guy, receiver, that made you look good?
All the good receivers, all the stud receivers came after I graduated, but my main guy was Willie Jackson.
Oh, he was good though.
Yeah, but I'm talking about all the first round draft picks.
That's what I thought.
Afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Edgar. So real quick, briefly about this game down in Tampa.
Sure.
What do you think? I mean, I know we lost some guys to the portal. Obviously, Pyburn. Who was the kid that went to Alabama? Yeah.
Well, Kelby Collins, I thought he showed a lot of promise as a freshman. They moved him inside, curiously. I just don't think that worked for him. And then Searcy, I think, he showed flashes. Jakeem Jackson's a guy was kind of thought was a loss. You're talking Jackson and Collins were the 2 top rated guys in 2023 in that, in that class. Jackson, I think, wanted to play for Corey again. Raymond, he went to LSU.
Yeah, I thought he was a good player when he played some last year as a true freshman. I know he had some injury issues this year, but I thought he was a really good player.
He's talented, and he's an Orlando area kid, Kissimmee, I think. But anyway, yeah, those guys, there have been some losses, but nothing super dramatic. And look, Billy still has a lot to prove. He'll be the first to tell you. I don't know if you saw that I wrote a big story on Billy a couple of days ago. Did you happen to run into that? I sat down with Billy a week ago for he gave me almost 45 minutes. But I wrote a story on this whole roller coaster season and how he kind of had to admit to himself after the A&M game, it just wasn't working, and how they made some adjustments. Nonetheless, the program still has a lot to do, but a lot to prove. And he wouldn't go, Shane, where does this program have to be in a year? Do you have to be the Final Four out? Do you have to be in? Do you have to be the Final Four out? How much in the conversation do you have to be? He wouldn't really put a specific on that, other than we're here to compete for championships every year, etc., which they haven't, obviously. But one thing with Billy, the guy's grinding all the time. And I think he has a plan, and people have been hand-wringing and freaking out about the portal inactivity on Florida's end, getting guys. This seems like a pretty good get here. And I think he's looking at things, and he's making the moves he thinks he needs to make. and he's letting guys go that maybe aren't fitting the plan or don't fit the roster, slots like we've talked about, right? You're not going to, you can't overpay. You have a budget.
Yeah, and I understand fans getting upset about portal stuff, but you can only do so much as a coach, and just take the Gators out of this. It doesn't matter if you're Alabama. Look what's happening at Alabama. There's multiple schools that players are going to decide where they want to go play, just like in recruiting. Obviously, money plays a huge factor in today's world, but you can do everything the right way. You can offer them X amount of dollars. You can get them cars. You can buy them house, whatever it is in today's world that's legal. But the kids still may choose to go to another school, and there's nothing you can do about that. So anyway, we'll see what happens here.
Jeremiah Smith was apparently like getting paid significantly to make every visit he made, so he was going everywhere.
Yeah, I think all the top guys now, regardless of what schools you go visit, you're getting an appearance fee or however you want to phrase it to show up, and it's crazy. But all right, Edgar. Obviously, we'll see how this game plays out today. I wanted to get your thoughts about basketball, though, man. Boy, they're still undefeated. Had a tremendous first half. Kind of sputtered around early in the second half, but found a way to win at the end, which I thought was crucial. And honestly, your best player didn't play very, very well. I didn't think it was a great game by Walter Clayton Jr. from a scoring standpoint. He did a lot of other things well, but this team has a chance. Now, it's going to be a grind with all the great teams in the conference, but this team has a chance to go a long ways in the tournament.
Yeah, you open at Kentucky on the 4th and then Tennessee here on the 7th. So can't really get a 1-2 punch out of the gate like that. Going to Rupp where it's going to be crazy, and they have a team they like and is good. And then Tennessee, is Tennessee ranked 1? I mean,
yes, they're the #1 team in America.
Yeah, and they're one of, I think, 4 unbeatens along with the Gators. Fastest start, you've talked about all this on here, I'm sure, since the 04's first national title team. So yesterday, I went and sat down with Todd, actually, for a while practice was going on. We chatted, and I'm not going to write this until the week of the Kentucky game because I'm heading home. I got Tiger this weekend, by the way. We can talk about that in a sec. I got the game today, and then I got Tiger on the weekend, and then driving home. But the thing we were talking about was the roster building, how you go about building a roster in today's day and age. Because back when they won those back-to-backs, it was basically one recruiting class and a couple of role players fitting around them, like Chris Richard, Adrian Moss, a couple of guys like that. But it was like you hit it big in one class, and these guys all wanted to play together, stay together. They were like friends and family almost, right? Living together. Now it's like you're getting disparate parts from all over the place. He's got recruiting, internationally. Like Condon was a great evaluation. I mean, Houck was like a 150-ish guy. Nobody was like chasing him. You go look at his class now. I bet he's a top 50 guy in that class, roughly. I mean, he's playing a lot of minutes for a top 5-ish program. So, and Condon's a stud. I mean, Condon's like, he and Clayton are the 2 NBA guys on this roster, probably, I think. And they may have, and Logden could develop, who, by the way, was practicing hard yesterday, scrimmaging. He's not playing this year, but man, he was working up a sweat. So he's healing quickly, but he's still redshirting. Anyway, we talked about just building this roster, getting Elijah Martin, getting Richard and Clayton back, putting these pieces, getting Chinyelu on here, who I think still hasn't really fully realized what he can do. But this Sam Alexis kid, man, you talk about an efficient guy, and he makes him, right? He comes in and just puts up numbers, and great rebounder, good instincts there. That's one thing the other night I really thought was impressive down the stretch is this team hasn't been a great rebounding team, certainly like last year's, but they got 2 big-time offensive rebounds in that last little stretch where they put them away. And this team plays hard. It's confident. It was a good win, man.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is you think back to the back-to-back national championship teams. Obviously, a lot of guys on that played in the NBA for a while. How Al Horford's still playing, but
Yeah, it's
when you look
amazing.
at this team, and granted, they've won nothing. I don't need people to send me tweets or anything, but this team looks way more athletic than that team to me, right?
Yeah,
And,
sure.
and I think it's the style of play too. Not that we didn't get up and down back in those days, but the bigs, we have so many bigs that are so bouncy and athletic. We play a different style of play than what Billy D did. But this team to me is just extremely, extremely athletic. And they got a good mixture of a lot of it. Will Richard to me is the key, right?
When he
Because
plays well, they're a
he
whole other level.
Yeah, he has to make shots, but he's a tremendous rebound. I don't know if he's listed as a guard, but he's a guard.
No, he is. He's 6'4", 5".
Okay, yeah, he's a really good rebounder, but I
He's a
think
very good rebounder for his position.
he is the key to the entire season to me because he's kind of that X factor.
I
But
agree
fun to
with that.
watch.
But look, man, Noah was a freak athlete, man. He ran the floor, blocked shots. They don't have a guy blocking shots like that guy. And I'll tell you the thing Noah was underrated at. He was such a good interior passer. He was unbelievable at that. He could be in a tight space and make that extra pass, and it'd be a layup. Horford couldn't shoot a 6-footer, and now the guy's raining in threes. It's unbelievable how he's developed over the years. But you don't have a Humphrey. They don't have a guy like that. That guy just shooting daggers
Well,
all day.
I think if Walter Clayton wasn't handling the point, he could be that guy. I think he's a phenomenal shooter.
He is, but Humphrey was ridiculous. The other thing Humphrey was underrated at, he was a great on-ball defender. That guy just stayed in front of his man like all day. He was really underrated, man. That team was special, dude. I'm not even close to going there with this team. Not
No, I
even
just think
close.
this team is more athletic than that team.
I mean, Horford had 18 boards as a freshman against Alabama. I mean, he was high pointing that ball like above the square. I remember we were sitting, that's when we used to sit court level, and we're watching Horford, and he's just getting rebounds. And I'm like, this guy's already like rebounds like an NBA player. And Noah was like a baby fawn his first year, all elbows and knees flying everywhere. And his development, Mark Long talks about the Joe-come jump on our podcast like all the time. We laugh about it. It's such a, standby for him. But I don't know, man. That team was incredible. I like this team a lot. I think it could be special. I think Todd has done a wonderful job putting this roster together, which is why I wanted to write on it. But yeah, this SEC schedule is big time. And don't forget, Alabama went to North Carolina, into Chapel Hill, and beat them by 15.
Gator Art question on YouTube brought to you by Quad Plum. Shane, did you play basketball? You have a passion for it? Yes, I did. I played on an extremely good high school basketball team. I was a six man. All five guys played Division I. One played at Kentucky, one played at UAB, one played at Georgia, one played at A&M. Two of them played in the NBA for a long time. So,
Wow, who were that? Who were they?
Dale Brown played at Kentucky. Isaac Brown played at Texas A&M. He was the former Wichita State head coach.
Okay.
Tony Harvey played at Georgia, 7-foot center. And then Elbert Rogers played at UAB. And I was like the sixth man, but Tony Harvey played for the Lakers, the Trailblazers. Anyway, we went 32-5 and lost 4 times to Chris Jackson's high school team, which was our
Oh,
in our
wow.
district. So we played against Chris Jackson. He was at Gulfport, Laterrell Green, and Devin Booker.
Oh, wow.
Not Devin Booker. Devin
No, but
Booker.
Laterrell Green, I remember him too.
Yeah, he played at Georgia, and then
Yeah, he
Devin
was good.
Booker's dad, Melvin Booker, played at Missouri.
Oh, yeah, Melvin Booker. Okay.
Although we were all in the same district, so it was brutal, brutal.
That's
Um,
awesome.
This text here on the Titan MR text line says it's playoffs or bust, period. No excuses. Year 4, time's up.
Well, I kind of feel like that, and that's what I was kind of pressing them on. Like, do you have to at least be in the final 4 out? Which is what I kind of think. Personally,
You got to at least be in the conversation on my show, on the national shows, late in November that we have an opportunity to make it. I think you have to be.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that's where they need to get. I think that's where he expects them to get. It's going to be interesting, man. There is so much going on, Shane. I mean, Rashada motions were 2 days ago. You know about this? To dismiss this thing. I was just looking at the thing this morning. We still got the golden thing hanging in the air. Is this Dallas Wilson kid coming? Is he coming? Is that out?
No, I mean, I just read what's on Twitter like y'all do.
This is what I'm saying. Here's 3 things, and I'm like, I mean, it's like no wonder I don't know. You know, I'm driving down to the game, and it's just there's so many fronts things are happening on, but yeah, the playoffs starting tonight. I'd like to hear your. We only have like 5 minutes. We always run through this fast, but I'd like to hear your 4 picks real fast. You don't. Need
I have Notre Dame winning big. I have SMU beating
No.
Penn State.
Really?
I do. I think they're way more athletic than.
I love that
team in the Big
quarterback.
Ten.
That quarterback is awesome.
They have so much speed on the outside. I think Clemson will give Texas a fight. I think Texas is going to win, but I think it's going to be very close.
I agree with that.
And then I think Tennessee beats Ohio State. Ohio State has done nothing to impress me this year. That's just me personally. I don't think Tennessee is great. I think Tennessee has a really good defense. They have an All-American tailback. If the quarterback can complete any passes, I think they win the game.
Well, he's had a couple weeks too, 3 weeks to work. So we'll see. I mean, you know, he's so young, he can make some strides even in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I hope Indiana plays them tough. I'm going to be listening to that one myself, driving over to Orlando after the game tonight.
Yeah, you got real quick, Edgar. We got a few minutes here. You're going to cover. It's not called the father-son anymore.
No, it's a PNC now because like Annika plays with their kid, Nellie Corder and her dad, Peter Corder, right? The tennis player, they play together. Gary Player's playing. Dude, 89-year-old Gary Player's playing. I'm actually going to ask him tomorrow. I'm going to see. He's awesome. I'm going to say, so what do you think about everyone making such a big deal out of Joe Biden being too old? I mean, this guy's 89 playing in this tournament, right? He's an unbelievable guy. He's so friendly. But yeah, but Tiger's the show. Tiger's the reason I'm actually going, because when he committed, it's like, we got to be there. He hadn't played since the British Open. How this guy's even swinging a golf club 3 months after a 7th back surgery is beyond me. Why he's doing it's kind of beyond me. But he and his 15-year-old son love the event. They've been playing it every year since 2020. I mean, they sell the thing out with him, and he can ride a cart, so he can just ride up to his ball and hit the shot. But nonetheless, you still got to rotate him, hit it lately. But last year, he just still pounds the ball. I mean, it's unbelievable how he still hits it. He's also built like, you know, a defensive end now. I mean, he's so freaking jacked. Because he needs that, you know, to get around his left side now because he just really can't fire his legs like he used to. But anyway, it'll be fun. You know me, I love golf and being around all these legends. Fred Couples is playing the event for the first time. I'll go watch him just to see that swing.
Oh, that's a good
swing. His butter.
Yeah. All right, Edgar, good stuff. We'll see you in the press box, and appreciate you taking the time to come on the program today, my man.
I'll try not to blow you off the road on the way down 75.
There you go. All right, Edgar, have a good trip down. We'll see you in the press box. That's Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. Join us on the Titan No More Hotline. Electronics World